Convangel, Rowley, and all of them have been lying to us right through. We telling you that right. They air test, so we have no COVID. The testing is woeful. We have no rapid test. We don't do any contact tracing. The testing, we don't even know who do it. On one day, the test increased by 31,000 and all here even batter eyelid. We don't know who tests, where they test, how long they get tests. People getting tests and they get results. People in quarantine, went in quarantine, come out quarantine, still ain't get tests. We are the worst in testing. We had no curve, but they say the curve flattened, the one that we didn't have. Just like the emails were not emails, but you had to check the content. That's the nonsense that passes in Trinidad and Tobago. So now, here COVAX. You all have low rates of infection, so you all will have to go to the back of the line. So we are already in the back of the line, but they make sure we stay in the back of the line because we falsify results. We did not test. And now that we have no testing and no data, now the lies come back to haunt us because we can't get to the front of the line because we are no COVID. So how people dead in? Why we lock up? We not even in the line. And now they're saying stay out of the line because your numbers are low and they are going to give priority to areas where the numbers are higher. So you see, we are Rowley and them like some little children in primary school cheating in an exam, but the real sufferation comes now because the result of your cheating is that we out of the line for vaccination. So, COVAX, only 33,000 come in. The 100,000 first tranche will be here by May. After that, they're supposed to get, he said 462,000. It's supposed to be 924,000 because it's two shots per person. Convangel come to tell you all the PNM's policy is that we have decided any vaccines we get, we are not going to give everybody the full amount. We are going to keep it half so that we'll ensure that people get their second shot in 10 weeks. That is basic doctors, guidance, WHO, PAHO, everybody doing that. Them come like that is some brilliant. You cannot, there are 2 shots, 2 jabs, 2 doses per person. End of story. Convangel, you didn't create no policy of genius to say, well, if you get 20,000, you will only inject 10,000. How the hell you go inject 20,000 and you have to give them a second shot? Suppose no second shot come, you waste the whole 20,000. You all just pretend to be bright and end up letting us know how stupid you all really are. But this is not funny anymore. This is people's lives. This is economy. This is Trinidad and Tobago gone through because of the incompetence and dotishness of the PNM. Before I cuss, look, actually take a break here. In St. Augustine, let me do cuss down the place here. Very spiritual here in St. Augustine. Eh?
Being the leader of a small Caribbean island with a population of 72,000 people, I did not fancy my chances of getting such a swift, positive response to my request.
India has been sending out vaccine doses in large numbers to other countries under the Vaccine Maitri initiative. This shipment of 2 million doses of vaccine to Brazil marked the start of India's export of vaccine. Just to give you a perspective of the shortages of vaccine globally and how India is stepping in to fulfill the demand, while Canada is still on track to get 6 million doses of Pfizer and Moderna vaccines by the end of March, India, on the other hand, has already supplied around 15.6 million vaccine doses to 17 countries like Bhutan, Maldives, Bangladesh, Nepal, Myanmar, Mauritius, Seychelles, Sri Lanka, the UAE, Brazil, Morocco, Bahrain, Oman, Egypt, Algeria, Kuwait, and South Africa. All of these vaccines were given free of cost by India, and India is planning to gift 500,000 doses of coronavirus vaccines to CARICOM countries, that is the Caribbean community, and another 200,000 doses each to Nicaragua and the Pacific Island states. Apart from the 17 countries who already received India's vaccine, 30 other countries are now reaching out to India for the coronavirus vaccine.
Has the government of Trinidad and Tobago considered approaching any foreign government for a donation of COVID-19 vaccines?
Madam Speaker, the Ministry of Health has been having bilateral discussions with the government of China since October 2020. And once WHO approval is received for that vaccine made in China, we will follow up that, and we are confident that we would be able to access supplies from that quarter.
India is also very well on its way to supply vaccines to China. So far, with China's vaccine Sinopharm and Sinovac, the results have been very patchy with lack of data and transparency. On top of it, the countries who have received Chinese vaccines, like Brazil and Thailand, found the efficacy rates of Chinese vaccines at an abysmal 50%.
The truth is, the world is turning away from Chinese vaccines, like all things Chinese. The developed countries of the West are turning isolationist. India is slowly but surely stepping into a leadership role here and displaying compassion, the kind of which has never been seen before. Other developing nations like South Africa, Kenya and Nigeria are looking forward to Indian vaccines, as are many West Asian countries, including Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. Why is the world interested in Indian vaccines? A, they're cost-effective, and B, they're safe. The Moderna vaccine, for example, is expected to cost around $30, Sputnik V around $10. Now compare this to Covishield from India, approximately $6.
Trinidad and Tobago has so far invested 66 million TT dollars for the purchase of 462,000 vaccines, enough for 33% of the population.
From the African Medicines Council platform, we were initially allocated 226,000 doses. That has now been increased to 426,000 doses. We are awaiting price estimates and
by now, India is known as the world's pharmacy. Vaccine developers from around the world have been tying up with Indian plants since the beginning of the pandemic. These are some of India's renowned vaccine manufacturers. India's pharma sector caters to 50% of the global vaccine demand, 40% of the generic demand in the United States, and 25% of all medicines in the UK. Indian drugs are exported to more than 170 countries globally. India is also home to the world's largest vaccine manufacturer, the Serum Institute of India. It produces 1.5 billion doses of vaccines every year. The UK's GlaxoSmithKline, in comparison, manufactures 0.69 billion doses. Sanofi from France manufactures 1 billion doses. America's Merck and Johnson & Johnson produce less than 0.2 billion doses every year. The Serum Institute of India is currently manufacturing the Oxford AstraZeneca Covishield vaccine. It will also supply 200 million doses of vaccines to the COVAX Alliance to distribute vaccines to poorer countries. India is ensuring equitable distribution of vaccines. As India's Prime Minister said, India is ready to save humanity with 2 made-in-India vaccines.
Madam Speaker, the Ministry of Health has been having bilateral discussions with the government of China since October 2020. And once WHO approval is received for that vaccine made in China, we will follow up that, and we are confident that we would be able to access supplies from that quarter.
So there you have it. India at the helm, at the head, proving that their vaccine is close to 98, 99, 100% efficacy rate. China vaccine, nobody here know. Down in Brazil, Sinovac 50%. It ain't even working. WHO ain't approved. But Rauli is discussing. He is going to wait while you dead to make friends with China, because when he's Minister of Housing, somehow China does get super contract, get money up front, have a clause that they have to get their money in 28 days. There are people like all you who do contract, work for the government, waiting 3-4 years for a little small money. You can't get your money paid. But he, Rowley, was the Minister of Housing and the Prime Minister, and China company get a sweetheart contract that it was so sweet. Rowley had to say it come in goat mouth and pretend like he threw it away. And then say, well, he don't know how it reached the cabinet. How it reached the cabinet? When you were the acting Minister of Housing. But furthermore, everybody in the world asking India. India is showing the world, Canadian Prime Minister, all the leaders in the world are saying thank you to India. They are bringing us out of this pandemic. And we in Trinidad and Tobago cannot ask India for some vaccines. Why is that? Ask yourself why. Every day that goes that we're not vaccinated, somebody's granny, somebody's mother, somebody's sister could dead. Our children are not in school. Our economy is shattered. Businesses are collapsing left, right, and center. 38% of businesses will never reopen again. If you go in Trinity Mall, if you could just try to catch mosquito flying around in empty area, square footage empty, and Rowley and them saying they are number one. They are number one if you're counting from the back. So why? Why this? Why couldn't we ask India? India High Commission right there. 60-year history with India, Gandhi Institute. What was so difficult in asking India, hey, we have something with COVAX, but even at maximum, that could give we 50%. We need another 50%. Help me, bring thing. What you have for me? Why we couldn't do that? But then we see this week, Business Express, monopoly created in the pharmaceutical industry. One Christian Mute. Who is Christian Mute? Mr. KFC man, Mr. PNM man, Mr. Balize all up in the K-Pax man, Mr. KFC man who Rowley fined to do a KFC report on the Bridgman's crooked deal, and he come out to say eat chicken. Mr. Mute, who was the head of the Roadmap to Recovery Committee, who say, hey, to keep Trinidad afloat, we had to sell assets and them lining up to buy everything. Mr. Christian Mute, who is KFC concessionaire, and they're going to sell and privatize all your gas stations. And when Smiley Cop Franklin Khan, when Franklin Khan in the Senate was told and debating in the budget, and Senator Lyder said, but you are giving concessions to the concessionaires, they're getting preferential treatment. Franklin Khan said, no, no, no. I come after and I read from his budget statement after the debate. I say, but Franklin Khan, you read your own Minister of Finance in the budget saying that those who have concessions in the gas stations will be given preferential treatment, will have a preferred bidder position, which is KFC. So them getting to do that. On top of that, macaroni and all, Senator Mark Shawley, because Mute producing macaroni here, the PNM government gone and put tax on all foreign macaroni 60% to help Mute. All you ever see an interchange built into a fast food place, right there in St. Augustine. They build a whole interchange and it land up in a KFC. So you could zing around in a circle and get a bucket of spicy. One time. You ever this, so now, then you link it now to the procurement legislation. And they got the procurement legislation. They had the audacity, the gumption to come to the country in the face of corruption like never seen before, in the face of Smallpin and Rowley buying ferry as if it's dynamite in the parlor. And they come to gut a procurement legislation that Kamala Prasad Bisesa laid and passed in the parliament to protect we money. Them come and take out many clauses, making it useless. And one of those clauses, you know what that included? Taking away the oversight of the procurement regulator over medical supplies and services. And now we hear that Mute buy up and Agostini, buy up Oscar Francois and our next one, and them grab up everything. And that Smith Robinson, who is Mute, is Pfizer, and now all the other vaccines of the other pharmacies all coming under one. And we had none. We take free vaccine, we don't want that, because they want to buy. Because somebody have money to get. Because no procurement legislation, no procurement regulator, medical supplies, isn't that vaccine? So you see how them bright for some things and dunce for others. Them bright for money, but dunce for saving your life. Them bright for gravel rolling from by a hospital to somewhere by them, but they dunce to give you injection. They bright to procure ferry for themselves, but dunce to give your children laptop. And all you vote for that, I can't do the left foot and the right foot. They even playing games with money and thieving for vaccine. All you find that is enough. What all you go get vexed? Only if your grandmother dead, you get vexed? Let we go. They then come to say, them going to Africa. Now I is a Douglas. Me afraid to talk race. I going and talk race. So the black half of me talking, the Tobagonian half, the African half talking right now in this segment. Always the black so-called PNM government with an Oreo leader who every policy he do suffer black people. Increasing the education gap, increasing the poverty gap, increasing opportunities for crime, suffering black people, putting Pumsite Rasta to ridicule black people and say the young people dunce and lazy and don't want to sweat. But the small pin brother, sweat, he in air condition, he get $3.81 billion. And now, your black African government that all you say, keep them Indian out of Tobago, the Calcutta ship. Never mind the treaty with respect. Never mind they build MIC center and gas station. Never mind they was going to build port and marina. Never mind they increase the jobs. Never mind they increase the allocation. Never mind Kamala Prasad Bisesa had the ferry service running smooth and Galicia moving left and right fast. Never mind that. Don't let them Indian come on the Calcutta ship. Well, your black government is going to black Africa to try and buy vaccine. Africa makes no vaccine. Africa is short of vaccine. Africa need 1.2 billion doses of vaccine multiplied by 2. They're only getting 250 million. They are billion vaccine short. And your loving black government is going to take black vaccine from black people, children in Africa to suffer them and let them dead day because somebody had to make money here and all you want to talk race with me. Africa need a vaccine. Only a criminal would buy vaccine and take vaccine from Africa when they are in a deficit worse than anybody else. Especially when we have access to India. Then you had this clown called Amory Brown. Anyway, run the video, Archie, on Africa.
It's been a year since the first COVID-19 infection was identified in South Africa. Since then, more than 50,000 people have died here and 1.5 million have been infected. While richer nations roll out vaccines, the program in South Africa has been much slower.
No person, no country, and no region must be left behind. Another important step is to enable the transfer of medical technology for the duration of the pandemic.
South Africa and India are leading a movement to suspend the World Trade Organization's agreement on intellectual property rights for COVID-19 vaccines. While some developing nations like Ghana, Ivory Coast and Lesotho have begun receiving their first doses through the UN-backed vaccine sharing scheme known as COVAX, many others in Africa are being left behind. South Africa is once again calling for access to cheaper drugs to save lives, with some arguing that despite COVID-19 vaccines being tested in Africa, many nations on the continent still remain at the back of the queue.
The African Medicines Council platform, we were initially allocated 226,000 doses. That has now been increased to 426,000 doses.
I don't know how y'all could even stomach listening to he and to listen to the abject total nonsense that man is talking. And that video you just saw there was just about South Africa. South Africa is a very rich country, well-managed, stable government, diamonds, gold, oil, gas, natural gas, manufacturing, tourism. South Africa is a rich nation. And they're suffering for vaccination for the people. Far less for other Malawi, Mauritius, other African countries that the Senegal, Somalia, countries that are not as lucky as South Africa. But we, black man Trinidad and Tobago, spit out and could not ask India, who making vaccine and gain we for free. We want to buy, and we want to buy also and take away from what the little bit that Africa have. And all you tell me, all your voting race, but like all your, the black government of Trinidad and Tobago don't like black people. They don't like black people. Let me go to another. Wait, put up a slide there. Just to show you all that Arnold's not just talking, you know. We are dead last. We are dead last in vaccination, even in the Caribbean. Put it up there, Archie. Watch that. Look at what. Barbados, how much I can't see? 48,000. Cayman Islands, 26,580. Bermuda, 23,939. Antigua, Barbuda, 14,002. Dominica, 11,368. St. Lucia, 6,100. And going down the line, when we reach Trinidad and Tobago, 1,113. And that is really nil, because we only get that because of the love and care of the Bajan Prime Minister, Mia Amor Motley. She gave we that, and we cushy. So we're not even gracious. We are no gratitude also. And that is number one in the world. And you all telling me Rowley and them did well in COVID? Listen to the next clown. The man who became a minister, they sent him Brazil, and he left his brain there and it didn't come through customs. He come in a budget debate, and for 14 minutes, well, since I have sworn in as Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, I have met with the UN Ambassador, I've met with the High Commissioner of England, High Commissioner of Australia, and I also met with John, I also met with Susan, I also met with Randall Mitchell quietly, I also met with Frank, I also met with Susan again, I also, for 14 minutes, Amory Brown talked that in our budget debate. But look what he come to say now. When Kamla Prasad Bisesa, on behalf of the dying citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, ask India and ask Prime Minister Modi, look, help we now. Help we please, we need vaccination. Listen to Amory Brown explanation. I can't listen to the whole thing, I'll go fall asleep. But run a little bit.
The CARICOM Secretariat informed CARICOM member states on the 4th of February that there was an offer made by a manufacturer, a private sector manufacturer in India, for the opportunity to purchase a vaccine called Covaxin. I want to clarify that to this date, Covaxin has not achieved WHO approval. And there was the opportunity to sell Covaxin to CARICOM member states. This information was immediately passed on by our ministry to the Ministry of Health. In response, the Ministry of Health sought CARICOM and Foreign Affairs assistance to engage the Indian High Commission toward the purchase of Covishield, because the information at that time is that Covishield was impending for approval by the WHO. In fact, the Ministry of Health was correct. Covishield, which was a different vaccine, achieved this approval on the 15th of February 2021. We conveyed the relevant information to the High Commission of India based on the Ministry of Health's request. That was reinforced by my correspondence, written correspondence with my counterpart in India, the Minister of External Affairs, and more recently, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago has corresponded with the Prime Minister of India, all with regard to our efforts to broaden the scope of vaccine availability beyond COVAX.
Enough. The whole Caribbean, everybody getting donation from Prime Minister Modi. Look the list there. Look at it. We talking free vaccination. Barbados get 100,000. Who else? Look, I can't even read it. The total number of doses distributed so far, 425,000. St. Lucia received 25,000. Grenadians, 40,000. Who's that? Antigua, Barbuda, 40,000. They share up. Suriname, 50,000. Trinidad and Tobago, 0. And this clung Emery Brown. Let me talk like Emery. Yes, Covaxin. We tried to purchase and we were unable to get onto the Serum Institute. So we attempted to make communication with them through our High Commission in India, and we were able to get to them, but we weren't able to purchase as yet. So all you go flipping dead. That is what all you have in government. The whole Caribbean, we're supposed to be leaders in the Caribbean. We are dead last and dead in the most. Even the Newsday, Judy Raymond, that loves whatever Rowley could give she that Kamala cannot. Even she is upset with the vaccination policy and implementation of the PNM government. She says, Wednesday, February 24th, around the same time that Klong was talking, the editorial, eggs in one basket. Up until this point, this country has a sterling record on immunization, because vaccination is mandatory for entry into secondary schools and immunization and so on. So since 1950-something, we vaccinate good, right? The Prime Minister's confirmation that the states plan to secure a first wave of jabs from international bodies has been frustrated, now seems to raise the prospect that this country will remain closed to the world indefinitely. Remain closed indefinitely. So why are they being so extra incompetent? One, they don't want no free vaccine, they want to buy. They want to buy, but they're giving enough time for the boy Mute to get a monopoly on all the pharmaceutical and so on. They then went in the parliament and got the procurement legislation, take out medical supply and medical services. And then they go in and buy vaccine, Pfizer, whatever vaccine. Now, we are seeing that we will remain locked down indefinitely. The PNM loves lockdown. You have to stay home, people outside. They're going in the Heritage and Stabilization Fund and taking out your money. You ain't know where it gone, how it gone, where it disappeared to. They love that. So is it that they have put us behind on purpose to keep us locked down? Y'all are not even understanding the way we are going here, and I want y'all to record this. Vishnu, record this. The way the PNM is going now, there will be no carnival next year too. I repeat, to all you on 96.1 FM, 96.7 Red FM, Slam 100.5, 99.1. All you who like Chutney 106.1 Sangeet, all your soca people, all your partiers, all your revelers, listen to me. The way that the PNM is being incompetent, whether due to dotishness or by design, there will be no Carnival 2021. So all you who say, oh God, we survived we didn't have the soca, 2022, sorry. We survived 2021. No Carnival. Thank God it's over. It's not over because the PNM is incompetent. We will not reach herd immunity, which is 1 million jabs by next year. Furthermore, in order to plan for a carnival, band launch and things supposed to start in June, July. Orders for costumes and things supposed to go out. Without any vaccination, with all of this confusion, without any certainty, there is no planning. There will be no carnival next year the way the PNM is going. I want you all to record that, because when they announce it in December, I want to press play, Vishnu. Right? I go tell them I was by Khadija in St. Augustine. All you remember when I say that? Let me read Judy Raymond. Judy Raymond, what you like that Rowley have that Kamala don't have? I don't know what it is, but somehow you just like Rowley, but he's not a very pleasant person. He's not courteous. He's not intelligent. His policies are not so good. He can't cook. What you like about he? What it is he have? Judy Raymond? Let me get it correct. The informal lockdown to which we have been subject, with all its deleterious effects on commerce, education, people's mental health, and society in general, may have to stay in place until further notice, while much of the rest of the world moves on. So the news they now know this. In February 2021, but in July, August 2020, oh Lord, we're going good with the COVID. Rowley doing great. The borders are good. Lockdown, the exemption policy is good. Don't mind Delcy reach with a sanction jet. And then by Rowley with PDVSA official. Forget that. Forget the porous borders. Forget only one Coast Guard vessel. Forget no air guard, no helicopter, no army base. Venezuelan walking across the water with COVID. COVID coming in on Kobo. Forget all of that. Rowley was #1 because it had election. Oh, now all they're talking the truth. As we talking truth and we talking exemption, thousands of our citizens are still outside. MPs like Khadija Amin, who is here, former Senator Obika, all the MPs and senators of the UNC, the national executive people, they get calls and text messages on group chats from citizens out there begging to come home. Their homes are full of mold. Their homes are deteriorating, air condition falling out, people breaking in, the roof leaking, the dogs dying, animals, birds gone through. They cannot come home. They're outside without money, without medicine, without home, without rent, without hotel. And they cannot get exemptions up to now, 1 year later. But look why. We found out why. The country found out why. The real exemption is a PNM card. Look, Vishnu, run the video because I still can't believe I see it. Run it.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Denise Harris from Party Group 6. My question to the Minister. Good afternoon. Good evening.
Good evening, Ms. Harris.
I am currently stuck outside of the country, and I have been waiting and waiting and waiting for an exemption.
Where are you?
Turks and Caicos.
Okay, and how long have you been there?
Well, December 9, 2019.
Okay, and you put in under the new system, etc.
As Monday morning broke that you said to reapply
the first
system, I was there.
How would you'll go what? You'll go to Miami or New York or something or Barbados?
I don't have a US visa, so I have to come through the Caribbean. I can go to Jamaica,
Barbados.
then to Barbados.
All right. You have Jelani's information?
Yes.
Okay, send it to him now.
Okay, no problem.
And he'll forward it to me. All right, and apologies for that.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Denise. Councillor Austin.
Jelani. Who's Jelani? So if you need an exemption as a citizen, if you are outside and you would like to come home to the land of your birth, the land where the Constitution gives you the right to enjoy your property in safety and security, the land where you are born, you need to know PNM, wherever he is, Aruka Maloney, he baldhead just like he MP. You need to know Jelani number in order to give him your secret, personal, private information that he could then send directly to the Minister of National Security, and your exemption will be granted. That is the system. Well, I didn't know that. The whole country didn't know that. The whole country didn't know. If you know Jelani, you get through and send it directly to the Minister of National Security, while everybody else who was applying through all other means, not getting no response from no email, then had to go and reapply through some computer system, not PNM. Them going to Jelani for gelato ice cream and straight to small pin. And on top of that, it appears that the Minister of everything, the Minister of small pin, the Minister of Asha Javid on Shibak, the Minister of arrogance, the Minister of procurement, the Minister of brother just get lucky and get 3.81 billion. And he all up and around Rowley K-Pax in Tobago, internationally in Houston, in Africa, all over. It appears that this arrogant, dunce, dotish, small pin Minister of National Security, he speaks pleasantly to PNM. He have manners for PNM. Like when you get a Balize card with Balize juice, look, listen, don't say the Douglas lie, you know. How nice and sweet. Play small pin the arrogant clown. Let me hear him.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Denise Harris from Party Group 6. My question to the Minister. Good afternoon. Good evening.
Good evening, Ms. Harris.
I am currently stuck outside of the country, and I have been waiting and waiting and waiting for an exemption.
Where are you?
Turks and Caicos.
Okay, and how long have you been there?
Well, December 9, 2019.
Okay, and you put in under the new system, etc.
As Monday morning broke that you said to reapply
the first.
System, I was there.
How would you'll go what? You'll go to Miami or New York or something or Barbados?
I don't have a US visa, so I have to come through the Caribbean. I can go to Jamaica, then to Barbados.
All right. You have Jelani's information?
Yes.
Okay, send it to him now.
Okay, no problem.
And he'll forward it to me. All right, and apologies for that.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Denise.
Yeah, apologize when illegal immigrants flowing through the country bringing COVID. He apologized to Barbados when he attacked them and said that Bajans using Trinidad as a jump-off point. He apologized to the entire country when he break 2 record back-to-back silver and bronze for murders, 538 and 517. He apologized for his arrogance. He apologized when he lied in the parliament and ball. The 2 Damon engineers did not come here because of COVID when he signed the COVID exemption. He didn't apologize for lying and balling. He don't drill down into Delcy and what plane and who on the plane to meet the Prime Minister. He apologized for that, but he apologized to Denise Harris, not of KFC, not of Royal Castle, not of Auto Body Works, not of First Citizens Bank, not of Radio Jagriti. He apologized to Denise Harris of PNM Party Group 6 and instructed her quietly and calmly. Yes, man, who organized? Give Jelani information that will be organized. Now, having been an MP and a minister myself and swearing to do the job without fear or favor, malice or ill will, and member of parliament, a minister, is supposed to take decisions and act in an equitable manner, fair across the board. There is to be no preferential treatment, no discrimination, no opportunity for anyone to jump the queue or to be given Jelani, Party Group 6. Yes, sorry, we humbly apologize. While others being abused. He's a dual citizen. What them went out there for? Who the hell tell them go? They want to come back here and kill all of we, keep them outside there? I wonder, I just asking, I know the DPP office, somebody in the DPP office, all you just watch now, all you interested in that video there? All you have no interest? They have anything that could interest you all? When somebody swear on the Bible to do a public duty, is there misbehavior in public office? It dies in the books. I not so sure, you know. I just asking police. Are they interested in that? They have a law that, you know, that might, I don't know. I just asking all, you know, because all you in charge. Ain't it our laws? Is that a public office? What is the definition of misbehavior in public office? And am I to tell all the people outside there who's suffering, who's starving, women who have to prostitute themselves in foreign countries in order to survive, parents who cannot hug their children because small pay give them no exemption, should I tell them that they must join Party Group 6? Play it again and listen to the nastiness, the ridiculousness, The arrogance and the moves with impunity to conduct business in a corrupt manner. Listen carefully.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Denise Harris from Party Group 6. My question to the Minister, good afternoon, good evening.
Good evening, Ms. Harris.
I am currently stuck outside of the country, and I have been waiting and waiting and waiting for an exemption.
Where are you?
Turks and Caicos.
Okay, and how long have you been there?
Well, December 9, 2019.
Okay, and you put in under the new system, etc.
As Monday morning broke, that you said to reapply
the
new system, I was there.
How would you'll go what? You'll go to Miami or New York or something, or
I
Barbados?
I don't have a US visa, so I have to come through the Caribbean. I can go to Jamaica,
Barbados?
then to Barbados.
All right. You have Jelani's information?
Yes.
Okay, send it to him now.
Okay, no problem.
And he'll forward it to me. All right, and apologies for that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Denise. Councillor Austin.
Oh gosh, small pin, you're so helpful and sweet. Oh gosh, you're so nice. We're going to Barbados, we're going to USA. Apologies for that. You clown, you arrogant dunce. You are the Minister of National Security for the entire Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know, I just shame sometimes, boy. You holding a very important office, supposed to secure each and every one of us. You so dunce, you let them record that. You went live and didn't know the press recording that. But anyway, we have independent institutions and Office of the DPP, Police Service. These are independent institutions. It appears, I don't know what I see there, but it appears that some people are being treated differently from other citizens. Very interesting. But Keith Rowley says we're on the right track. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley says he is hopeful that the population will reach a level of inoculation that would allow it to reopen its borders. I have had information which I have not shared with publicly because I have been provided with information from quarters in a confidential way. So as a leader of the country, I know a little bit more than the average citizen. And very soon we expect to receive quite an allocation of vaccines, he said at the news conference in Tobago yesterday. This was Thursday, 4th March. He has so much information. He privy to so much that he didn't know Marlene had Berkey inside taking picture with he. He has so much information that he didn't know that Zephyrine Bredgen and them was going down in the gaol just now. He didn't know none of that. But he know we getting vaccine that ain't reach yet. He know that we getting a whole pile of vaccine. The only thing that he might know is why the procurement legislation, they remove medical supplies and medical services. He might know that. He might know why they move disposal of assets. He might know that. He might know why they remove government to government contracts and relations, because he and Smallpin went and drink scotch and eat shrimps in Australia, spend $1.5 billion on 2 ferry, say give me 2 cutlass for 2, not puya, you know, vessel, and come back here and say who better to spend your money without procurement, without board, without tender, without evaluation, without experts, without cabinet note, without nothing than me. So he might know, but all I know is we dead last and we going to dead. Now, the last thing for this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, if you think things are bad now, the world is being vaccinated. At last count, I believe, I stand to be corrected, over 370 million jabs, double dose, were given across the globe. By June or July, most of the world, developed world, will be churning again. People will be flying, planes will be flying, factories will be churning and opening, big trucks will be moving, trains will be transporting, ships will be sailing. The price of oil will go up to nearly $100 a barrel, it is expected, due to the heavy, fierce winters in the northern hemisphere. Don't get excited. We are not an oil-based economy. The PNM killed Petrotrin. Heritage only producing 30,000 barrels per day. So that's small. We are a gas economy, and Rowley and Smallpin negotiate a poor price and everybody shut down. So don't get too excited. The problem is now that Kamla Prasad Bisesa is not the Prime Minister. Because when they came to her, 4 occasions that I was in the meeting, to tell her that she must remove the gas subsidy and privatize and liberalize the gas market so that the government could have more money to spend as it pleases. In this case, for example, with Rowley, could buy more painting, groom more golf course, procure more, give Noel Garcia more thing to build. Kamla Prasad Bisesa said no. She said that is the best distribution of resources to all the people. Whether you're 100 years old or you're a baby in mommy belly, once you are born here, that gas subsidy gives you benefit. Even if you don't own a car, maxi price lower, bus price lower, taxi price lower, food price lower, because everything has to be transported. Medicine lower, pharmaceuticals lower, groceries, everything, hardware supplies, everything lower. So Kamla Prasad Bisesa said, leave the people subsidy, because the oil and gas belongs to the people, but it's all right. All you didn't want to vote on policy, all you wanted to vote African, Indian, and the African vote for Oreo. I confused, but it's okay. Let's continue. The African now come and say, Black Man Party, fire burn all oil. That oil and gas is we own, the cabinet own. We must spend it how we want. So they come and they take away your subsidy. Once, twice, 3 times. They didn't riot, they take it 4, they take all now. They didn't stop there. They're going to liberalize your gas stations now. So they're going to give it to whoever could bid the most, big money men. And once they buy that, and you have a few owners, they would then collude and set price on all your, just like how banks set interest rates and so on. Yeah? All you ever see the banks competing, like when Carib and Stag was fighting down in 1998, and eventually Carib win and buy out Stag? All you ever see banks doing that? Or somehow the interest rates always just happen to be coincidentally about the same? Oh, well, that could be your gas markup too. And if you're in Mayaro and it has 1 gas station, well, you might have to drive to Manzanilla to get gas. Because if that person decides to mark up 40-50% profit, you are going to have to pay it. So to break down all of this technicality, and I ain't done there, you know, because if you want to buy a car, they put up taxes on car. They reduce the quota of foreign use car. They reduce the age of the foreign use car that they could bring in. So they are making private transportation out of the reach of middle-income people, not only poor people, middle come down, will only be able to drive limited amounts with their existing vehicle and not get another one. Now, I said the world is getting vaccinated. We not, but the world is. So when that oil price goes up, we have no more protection for gas squeezing at the pump, gas going in with car. They wanted to take the super too, but they realized that riot might have come. They pull it back for now, but they're coming back with that because that is the PNM, because don't close your fridge door, super go be gone. Fisherman don't have regular. Imagine if fisherman have to fish with premium. Where them going? Now, whatever you pay now for your gas, let's say you put a 200, as Prangalang would say, and you put a 200 every 5 days. Then you spend about $1,200 per month in gas. By the time June, July roll around and the world gets back to normal and aggregate the demand for oil goes up, you are going to have to pay between $2,400 and $3,000 for that same $1,200 amount of gas. Can you afford to drive at that? You heard me? The $1,200 you're spending now in July is going to be $3,000 3,000 to 3,500. Are you all hearing what I'm saying? Are you all understanding? I'm going to give you a little example. Vishnu, put it up there. Put up the chart. And put it up big because it's far. I can't see it. Right. Now, Vishnu, I think the yellow is when Kamala was there. Vishnu, help me out. Yes. And you can see the various prices and so on. And then Imbot came and started to take away your subsidies on each one. And you could see your prices went up. The buildings got taller and taller. That's your money going out of your pocket. You your pocket emptying. Right. It kept going up under Imbot, Dwayne. But now, in 2021, the Dwayne has taken all. And the globe, you see those 3 tall buildings? Add on another, come down, because we're going to have to add on now. Because that is today's price, with only 370 million people vaccinated. By the time July reach, and 2 billion people are vaccinated and the world's economies start to churn, add on 2 or 3 inches to the top of those 3 red P&M Dwayne things, and that's where your gas price is going to be in your tank. Can you afford to drive? Can you afford your car? And then we're talking about the danger of our women, our mothers, our daughters traveling. A high percentage of people are going to park up their cars. At least 200 to 300,000 people will not be able to drive again. They will then have to take taxi, PH, and bus. There will then be more people at risk for criminal elements to do wickedness. We are in a total and complete mess because of the Dwayne. And if all you feel is lie, that a lie, all you vote for that, run the Dwayne.
I propose to increase the price of super gasoline by just 15%, from 2.7 per litre to $3.11 per litre, and similarly to increase the price of diesel by approximately 15%, from $1.50 per litre to $1.72 per litre. These new prices will take effect immediately.
I then realized that was not enough. I came back again in April and I raised it again by 15%.
The following prices will take immediate effect. The price of super gasoline will be increased by 15% to $3.58 per litre. The price of diesel will be similarly increased by 15% to $2 per litre.
And I came back again just a few weeks ago and raised it by another 15%.
It is proposed, therefore, to continue the incremental removal of the fuel subsidy and to increase the price of diesel by 15%. Accordingly, the new price of diesel fuel will now be $2.30 per litre, up from $1.98 per litre. This measure will take effect immediately.
They haven't rioted yet. So I might raise it by another 15% in April of next year.
Madam Speaker, the adjustment to the subsidy plus the increase in the gross margins will increase the price of super gasoline from $3.58 per litre to $3.97 per litre, and the price of diesel from $2.30 per litre to $3.41 per litre. These measures will be implemented with immediate effect.
And I came back again.
At this stage, therefore, I propose to increase only the cost of super gasoline from $3.97 per litre to $4.97 per litre.
They haven't rioted yet. So I might raise it by another 15%.
I need a small pin and you get through. When you go by the gas station, when them finish with you and you squeeze and you end up paying $500 for a quarter tank, that is what you vote for. PNM, you vote for that, you know. You vote for that. And it's not like the Dwen was lying. The Dwen telling all you, you stupid. And you're right. I'm going to do it again. He do it. I'm going to do it and he do it. And now we do it and it gone. It gone. He has removed the rights that you have from being born in an oil-rich nation. Oil and gas is your birthright. But Balize more important than your children's future. What the Douglas say? The Douglas don't care who is Indian and who is African. The Douglas care about who making sense. Kamala say, leave the subsidy these people on. Leave it, leave diesel, leave regular, leave super, leave premium. That's what Kamala say. Dwayne and Rowley say, fire burn all you. Black, African, Indian, Chinese, Syrian, everybody. But some of them that are called, they could afford it. Them go be driving because the Dwayne traffic plan is eliminate middle to poor people off the road. All you come off and make room for the supercar. I gone, Douglas out. I go in and try and go Barbados and get a vaccine. Bless.
Politics, we don't get no kicks. Trinidad and Tobago, do we have this thing of the